Ladies and gentlemen, I take pride in introducing the greatest show on earth.
Hi, everybody. This is Scott Gordon, and welcome to the Uncle Floyd podcast number 73. Right now, it's 4:11 p.m. on Friday, May 15th, and I'm sitting here in my studio with a whole bunch of questions in my hand that I'm going to answer today. So let's listen to the end of the theme song by the Vivino Brothers Band with Floyd on piano, and we'll be back to you in a minute. Okay, in a little personal news, just for those of you who've been following this kind of stuff, my new teeth have been installed. Now I just have to wait a couple of weeks and they will check them out and make sure everything's okay. So hopefully this is all done with. I actually had a salad last night. First salad I've had since August of last year. Almost a year with no salad. Can you imagine that? Jeez. All right. Last week, I bypassed a question. It kind of slipped past me. The papers stuck together. And I want to get to that one first. It's from Arthur Ford. We know the commercials on the show were sold directly by Floyd. With this in mind, did you guys ever actually do a sponsor ad live as part of the show? The way the commercials were often done in the early days of TV? Or was this ever requested by a sponsor? Was there ever a sponsor that you were really surprised Floyd managed to sell? Something that just felt out of place? Well, there was a lot of things that felt out of place on the Uncle Floyd show. I think the entire show was out of place. Yeah, there were a couple of sponsors in there. We had a Gentleman's Club, and we had some other very weird commercials. If you come to the Tuesday night live stream, Arthur, you'll see some of these. I actually play some of the live commercials that Floyd did every once in a while. It's usually just a card with the name of the business and the address, and Floyd just talks. There was a time when we didn't have a clock on the studio, so Floyd couldn't time the commercials. So I would be sitting off camera with a bell or a horn or a whistle or something like that, and Floyd would read the commercial, do the commercial. He didn't read it. He did them out of his head. I would ring a bell or blow the whistle at 30 seconds so he wouldn't go over with the commercial or he wouldn't go under with the commercial. That was the only clock we had in a couple of studios. Sponsors kind of liked it when we did it that way. They got more business off us playing with the commercials and making fun of them than they did with a recorded commercial. So that's great. From Michael Lepowski. Were there any bits where Floyd might have scrapped either before recording or after? The only bits that I remember being scrapped, there were two. There were two that stick out in my mind. One was a thing that we did. Floyd and I did two clown puppets arguing with each other. Well, you said this. No, I didn't. You said that. No, I didn't. You said that. Back and forth. And when camera zoomed out, it said gubernatorial debate. And that was deleted by the people who ran the station because of the fact that the politicians had something to do with the station. What can I say? The other one, we had an entire thing all made up. We were going to use some food in a sketch, and we had it on a table, all set to go. And we're ready to do the sketch, and we turned around, and the food is all gone. The crew had eaten it when we weren't looking. So the entire sketch had to be scrapped because the food was gone. And we didn't go out and buy any more, so we kind of faked it. And how did we fake it? Well, this comes into this question from Todd Walker. I remember a marionette puppet on the show who was a skeleton called Mr. Bones, who always danced to jazzy music. I'm wondering if Floyd himself operated Mr. Bones, and he had a hand in selecting the music for him to dance to. Mr. Bones would be a fill-in. Whenever we needed extra time, everything ran short, or something couldn't be done, Mr. Bones would come out. And Floyd would have a 78 RPM record of an old jazz tune, or an LP of some sort with jazzy music, like, Big Spider Beck, or The 12 Clouds of Joy, or something like that. And Mr. Bones would dance to it, and Floyd operated Mr. Bones. He was the only one who did operate it. As a matter of fact, Mr. Bones is in the hands of David Byrd right now. He's probably in a box all tangled up. From Grumpy, I sure would like you to explain Bones Boy's Snap It Pal to me, the whole snap thing. It's like I missed the origin and never caught it afterwards, so everyone is in on it but me. How did it start, and does it mean anything? Well, it started because of the fact that Welcome Back Kotter was on the air. And they had sayings like, up your nose with a rubber hose. And we said, that's funny. Somebody said it a couple of times, and Floyd says, no, don't say that. That's that other show. You know what we'll do? What I used to do in high school and grammar school. When somebody ticked me off, I'd look at him and go, snap it, pal. Go snap. And that's where that came from. It was something Floyd did when he was in school. From Jeff Clementi of Somerville, South Carolina. What is the origin of the old age jokes about Muggsy? Was he really that much older than the rest of you guys? Now, Jeff, Skip is the one of us who is the oldest. Muggsy was a little bit older than me. Muggsy would be complaining about things, and he sounded like an old grumpy old man, so we called him the grumpy old man off camera. That's where the old jokes came from. Got 2 pages stuck together again, and I don't want to miss this question. From Charlotte Quinn. I recently saw a short clip of a skit involving a dog on the Uncle Floyd show. It included you. You brought a dog in claiming he was a young deer that Santa left. I'm wondering if that was Floyd's dog. If not, did he have a dog or other pets? If he had a dog, I'm thinking Floyd often felt his dog was the only one who understood him. I don't even think poor Clark the Wonder Dog understood Floyd. The one that you saw was Clark the Wonder Dog, who was Lisa's dog. That's Floyd's second wife. His second ex-wife, let's put it that way. Clark was a great dog. He was a stray that was found in Newark by Lisa, and Lisa took him in, and he became a part of the show, Clark the Wonder Dog. There's even pictures of Floyd with Clark. If you look at some of the Facebook pages, you might see that publicity picture with Floyd holding Clark. But that sketch, that was the second time it was done. It was done before we had videotape machines, before we had a VHS or a Beta or anything like that. And the first time the young deer that Santa left was done was my wife's family dog. That was Woody. And he and Clark looked almost the same. There were 2 of those dogs, and the one you saw was more than likely Woody, because I don't think there's a copy of the one with Clark. From Kevin Dillon. I always found it interesting that Floyd was such an accomplished piano player and did not really read music. Do you read music? What about the other musicians on the show, Muggsy, Netto, and Charlie? Muggsy, I don't think read music. I don't have him to ask, obviously, so to find out. Netto, I'm not sure if he actually reads or not, but I know Charlie does, and I do read music. And Floyd did read music. Floyd actually had some classical piano training, a couple of months where he had to read music. Floyd's mother was a very, very accomplished concert pianist. She was an amazing piano player. And she read music. All right, let's keep going with some music here. From Tim Ramsdell. I watched my bad beta to VHS copy of the Swan River Band show that I asked about. He asked me about offline about the Swan River Band being on the show if there were any copies of it. I don't have one. It must be very early 1983 because Floyd promotes a Club Benet show for February 18th. And in a Nostradamus bit, he says the year 2000 is 17 years from now. What confuses me is it says Channel 68. I thought we went to Newark for the taping. Yes, that's right, Tim. Channel 68 in 83 was in the Wist Scissor building, the old Wist Scissor building. That was a studio that was built by Wometco Home Theater, the WWHT people. When we moved out of West Orange, they wanted a better production facility, and that's the studio that we did the syndicated show in. I have a DVD that has about 15 minutes of Floyd on AM New York playing Christmas songs for kids in 1982. Boy, I sure would like to see that. I sure would like to see that, him playing the Christmas songs for kids. All right, now, continuing with music, a lot of people have asked me this. They wanted to know why 95 to 99% of the bands lip-synced everything. Why did most of the bands lip-sync on the show? It's very simple. Time. We had to pay the studio by the hour for time, and there was not time to spend 20 minutes to 45 minutes setting up a band with microphones and everything so they could play live. So we insisted that the majority of the bands come in and play lip syncing because it was the only way that it was financially feasible. Some of the bands did not, like David Johansen on New Jersey Network. He played live. And there were a couple of bands, usually if it was a two-piece thing, like a guitar and a banjo or something like that, we'd let them play live. New Jersey Network did live a few times because they were paying for everything, not us. From John Mulez. Hey, John, how you doing? I have a question about the musical guest appearances. Do you know of the existence of footage in your archives of the appearance of Rachel Sweet and Nash the Slash on Uncle Floyd? I have one of Rachel's two appearances. It was her first appearance. It was in 1979. I don't have her second appearance, which I think was in 1980 or 81. And Nash the Slash, I do not have any of his stuff. Yes, Rachel was on twice. Excuse me, I'm yawning here. For each of her first two albums. Stage It Show, yes, I played the Rachel suite that I have on the Stage It Show. But I'm thinking for the holidays of doing a guest act compilation on the Stage It Show. If you're interested in it, it's 8 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday night, and you can get to it very easily by going to theunclefloydshow.tv. That's theunclefloydshow.tv. If you go there, you'll see information about it. John, I hope that answered your question. That's the best I got. From Susie Tannenbaum. There were 4 episodes of Uncle Floyd's New Jersey available online, and they feature Floyd accompanied by Dave Bird. These are from around 2018, as I understand it. You've mentioned that there were earlier episodes from the 1900s and 2000s. Who helped Floyd to film them? That would have been Pat Marucki. Pat Marucki was in on all of that. What towns did he visit? I know he did Glen Rock. I know he did Patterson. I know he did East Patterson at the time and West Patterson. Any way to see them? All I can say is go to YouTube and search on Uncle Floyd's New Jersey, and you might find them there. I don't know if there's any more than that put up there. This is from Mario Malghieri. I hope I'm saying that right, Mario, from Harrison, New Jersey. Has there ever been any thought about doing spotlight episodes or deeper conversations with each cast member, their careers, their memories of the show, and life behind the scenes? Yes, I've done a few of these already. There's Skip Rooney, there's a couple with Dave Bird, Charlie Stoddard, Netto, Weenie. They're up there. They're in the listing of the shows. If you go back in the list of shows, go back in time on whatever podcast service you're on, You can find them. They're there. They're numbered. Number 1, number 2, number 3. So just go back and search, and in the description, it'll say if it's anything different. Plus, there's ones with Floyd. This one is from Mike Optenacher. Mike Optenacher. I hope I'm saying that right, Mike. Any chance you or any combination of cast members will get together for live performance recreating some of the beloved old characters? I miss UB Small Lips and Chuck Little Hat. Mike, that's a very interesting thing. Obviously, UB Small Lips we can't redo. Floyd was UB Small Lips. Is Chuck Little Hat? Sure, Chuck will appear. It just has to be a promoter who's going to promote the show, to do the advertising, to do everything like that, and to pay for it from ticket sales or whatever, and we'll be glad to do it. They just have to get in touch with us, and we'll be glad to take care of it. All right, we got one more question, then I'm going to play some music by Floyd. This is from Dennis DeLeo. What were some of your favorite television comedies from the early television that may have influenced your comic style? Maybe Steve Allen or Ernie Kovacs. What were some of your favorite recurring old-school TV second bananas that you or Floyd liked? Maybe Jose Jimenez, Barney Fife, Fred Mertz. I know you go back to TV's golden age. Thanks, Dennis. I know. I go back that far. Yeah, well, I did like Ernie Kovacs. As a matter of fact, I worked with Steve Allen. I think it was 1972 I worked with Steve Allen. He was at the Playhouse on the Mall doing an evening of Ogden Nash short plays, 3 one-act plays, basically. And he did an opening. He did a monologue where he opened the show. And I was hired by Steve Allen to record his monologues. This was one of my first live recording jobs where I brought out tape recorders and things like that. And I've got a really nice letter from Steve Allen saying how wonderful my recording was and how it actually sounded better than some of the studio stuff that they had done. And this was in 1972. So you see, I've been doing this for a heck of a long time, folks. And as far as other guys, let's see. I love them all. Probably my favorite character, of course, the Three Stooges, Abbott and Costello. Those are the early days of television. You know, I watched every one of those, and I had a great time watching them. Every one of them, I think, colored my personal comedic values. I very much love physical comedy, the silent movies, the Charlie Chaplin, Charlie Chase, Buster Keaton, all that stuff, I think, falls into my purview of comedy, what I like to do. And the second bananas, I would say the best second banana I liked was the guys from the Steve Allen Show, guys who did the Man on the Street interview, and Professor Irwin Corey, who was on the show. As a matter of fact, a distant cousin of mine was on Steve Allen quite frequently. I'm related to Pat Harrington Jr. He was on Steve Allen quite frequently, doing like a U-boat captain that escaped during World War II and came to the United States, swam to the United States from offshore. I can't remember the name of the character, but I'm sure you can find out information about it. Now, we're going to close out. I just wanted to remind everybody, if you want to get emails in, get questions into this, please send them to me. The email address is ufpodcast@sge-inc.com. That's ufpodcast@sge-inc.com. It comes right to me. I take care of it. I print it out. I got all these papers here where I read them and answer your questions. There we go. That's how you do that. Now, every Tuesday night at 8, we have a date. I show old clips of the show. I actually show a complete show and a couple of clips. And it's every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Stage It platform. The easiest way to get there is to go to theunclefloydshow.tv. That's theunclefloydshow.tv. And that's it. You go there, you got it, you can watch it, and get into the chat. You ask questions about the specific shows. I answer the specific questions there right as we're going along. Have fun. I'll see you next week when we do this again. And I just wanted to remind you, Floyd is so touched that every one of you comes and remembers what we used to do. And you still get a laugh from the stuff that we did. And the most important thing to any show, this one, the live stream, any show that you see, any TV show, the most important thing is the audience. Without you guys, the audience, this would be totally useless. They'd put me away for sitting here talking into a microphone for no darn reason at all if it wasn't for you guys listening to it. I thank you for listening. Come back next week. And now here's Floyd doing something he called the lottery song.
I'm looking over a bad lottery ticket that I overlooked before. One number came out, the others did not. I lost my money and cried like a tot. No need explaining, my last buck remaining. I think I shall play again. Pick it or box it, but I'll never knock it, 'cause someday I'm gonna win. Looking over a bad lottery ticket that I overlooked before. One number came out, the others did not. I lost my money and cried like a tot. No need explaining, my last buck remaining. I think I shall play again. Pick it or box it, but I'll never knock it, 'cause someday I'm gonna win.
This program was produced in the studios of Scott Gordon Enterprises, Incorporated in Paramus, New Jersey.